Whether you're 4 or 104, these films will leave you weeping like a baby. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 kids movies that will make you cry. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at movies aimed at kids and families that are notorious for triggering the waterworks. Since we'll be delving into why exactly these films are so sad, a spoiler alert is now in effect. Number 10, E.T. the Extra Terrestrial. E.T. won over audiences everywhere, and that's largely thanks to its lovable titular character. So you can imagine how traumatized we all were when the little alien's motionless body was discovered by a stream. From there, matters only become more emotionally draining as E.T. seemingly dies on the operating table. Few things are more depressing than watching a pale E.T. fight for his life, as Elliot is powerless to help. While E.T. does ultimately pull through, that doesn't make his farewell to Elliot any less bittersweet. As hard as we try not to cry, E.T.'s final words get us every time. Number 9, Inside Out.
Crying helps me slow down and obsess over the weight of life's problems.
When one of the main characters is a personification of sadness, a few tears are going to be inevitable. Given Pixar's track record for making the audience cry, chances are you went into Inside Out armed with a pack of tissues. You probably didn't bring enough, however, because the final act of this film is an emotional roller coaster unlike any other. While Bing Bong's sacrifice is sure to shatter anyone's heart, the most sentimental payoff comes when Riley reunites with her parents, and sadness demonstrates her essential purpose.
Wait, stop! I want to get off!
What makes this scene so effective is that anyone can identify with Riley's feelings, especially if they had to move across the country at a young age.
I know you don't want me to, but I miss home.
Number 8, My Dog Skip.
I was an only child. He was an only dog.
There seems to be an unwritten rule that if a movie centers on a dog, the filmmakers are going to do everything in their power to make you cry. My Dog Skip may tread on familiar territory, but the sincere relationship between Frankie Muniz's Willie and his Jack Russell Terrier still left a paw print on our hearts. Even the most cynical audience member will have a hard time not getting choked up when Skip is severely beaten, and Willie breaks down in tears by his bedside.
Skip! What you doing? That's my dog!
The good news is Skip survives this particular brush with death, but the film doesn't shy away from the fact that every beloved pet must eventually pass on.
Please don't die, boy.
Number 7, The Iron Giant.
Giant?
And now we go from a movie about a boy and his dog to a movie about a boy and his massive robot. The Iron Giant was overlooked during its theatrical release, but in time, more audiences would discover just how funny, exciting, and meaningful the film truly was. Perhaps the biggest surprise was just how empathetic the titular Iron Giant turned out to be. Vin Diesel may be the definition of an action star, but his gentle turn as the Giant and the bond he forms with young Hogarth couldn't be more genuine.
I love you.
It's our attachment to these characters that makes the Giant's third act sacrifice so devastating. Much like Superman, though, this hero fortunately lives on. Number 6, My Girl.
We are here to honor Thomas James Sennett.
My Girl starts off as a quirky coming-of-age dramedy with a dark edge. Many were caught off guard by the final act, however, which spirals into sheer tragedy. Although Veda's been surrounded by death her entire life, she doesn't experience grief until her best friend dies due to an allergic reaction from bee stings. At first, Veda is unable to accept the truth, hiding away in her room, and even trying to get a response out of Thomas J's corpse, arguing that he can't see without his glasses. It's a brutally honest scene that'll resonate with anybody who lost a loved one at a young age, as well as anyone who grew up adoring Macaulay Culkin.
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses. Put his glasses on. Put on his glasses.
Number 5, The Land Before Time. Director Don Bluth is another animator with a reputation for flooding movie theaters with tears. And The Land Before Time is arguably his saddest work. The movie's most gut-wrenching scene would have to be the death of Littlefoot's mother, who leaves her orphaned son with some poignant final words.
Let your heart guide you. It whispers, so listen closely.
Although nothing quite tops this wallop to the feels, the film is still full of deeply emotional moments, such as Petrie's near-death experience. Even the more uplifting moments are so overwhelming you can't resist happy crying, especially when our young heroes finally make it to the Great Valley. Way to make us cry over creatures that went extinct millions of years ago.
Great Valley.
Number 4, Toy Story 3.
Now, you gotta promise to take good care of these guys. They mean a lot to me.
By the time Toy Story 3 came out in 2010, 90s kids who grew up with the first two films were on the verge of adulthood. This added another level of emotional gravitas to the film, especially when a teenage Andy parts with his old playthings before heading off to college. Since Woody and Buzz were childhood staples for many of us, we were all able to put ourselves in Andy's shoes as he bids the old gang adieu, but not before one last playtime.
This is Jessie, the roughest, toughest cowgirl in the whole West.
Even if this was your introduction to the Toy Story franchise, the film's themes of nostalgia, change, and letting go can resonate with viewers of all ages.
So long, partner.
Number 3, Coco.
How are you, Julio?
Actually, my name is Miguel.
Family and death are both common themes in Pixar films, but they provide the backbone of Coco. For anyone who's had a loved one with a memory disorder, the early scenes between Miguel and his aging great-grandma will immediately have you invested. The film continues to emotionally affect its audience as Miguel interacts with his departed family members, learning valuable lessons about life and death. The scene that gets to everybody is the grand finale, when Miguel makes a connection with the practically catatonic Coco through the power of music. As Miguel plucks his great-great-grandfather's guitar strings, the film tugs at our heartstrings with an Oscar-winning song.
Though I have to say goodbye, remember me. Don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart.
Number 2, Up.
You know, you don't talk very much. I like you.
Where some films save their big emotional highlight for the second half, Up went all out within its first several minutes. Relying on the imagery and Michael Giacchino's score rather than dialogue, we witness the marriage of Carl and Ellie Fredrickson. Their life together isn't without misfortune, including a miscarriage and several setbacks that prevent them from traveling to Paradise Falls. Even during their lowest points, though, they still have each other, until Ellie passes away. In just a few minutes, we're told everything we need to know about this couple, with heart-rending results. While there are certainly other moments in the film that'll tickle your tear ducts, everything ties back to this haunting intro. Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Is it like the Bible says? Is she going to hell?
It's just a reflection. I'm not a flower.
Number 1, Bambi.
Bambi, quick, the thicket!
You may deny it, but at one point, everybody has bawled their eyes out while watching a Disney movie. Whether it's Simba curling up to his father's body, or Dumbo's mother swinging her little one with her trunk. When it comes to cute animals being separated from their parents, though, nothing tops Bambi in the tear-jerking department.
Mother! Mother!
Although the entire film is an emotional experience, it's the death of Bambi's mom that made this our inevitable top pick.
Your mother can't be with you anymore.
Between the single gunshot, Bambi calling out for his mother in confusion, and Bambi's stern father confronting his son, this scene left a major impact on generations of children and adults, including Walt Disney's daughter, Diane.
And afterwards she said to me, Daddy, why did you have to kill Bambi's mother? And I said, well, it was in the book, dear. She said, there were plenty of things in the book that you changed. Why couldn't you have changed that?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.